So recently we got the spell card Fusion Reinforcement announced for Duelist Nexus, and at first I didn't really think much of it. I saw it as a better and worse instant fusion because your options are kind of limited, but at the same time you can summon high level monsters with this card. But the more I thought about this card, the more I ended up liking it. Of course, there are a bunch of reasons for that, and today I'll explain to you everything that this card could potentially do. First of all, this card can easily summon you a monster for free that would be able to be used as a Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link material. It does prevent the summoned monster from attacking or using its effect until the end of your opponent's next turn, but that's not really the end of the world. Fusion Deployment is a card that is really similar to Fusion Reinforcement, but the issue with Deployment is that unfortunately, it locks you under fusion summons only. And Fusion Reinforcement doesn't have that restriction, so you can spam synchro plays. Do take note though that in order to utilize this card, you need to dedicate at least 2 spots in your extra deck to this card, but it's not the end of the world. You can also revive back the monster that you're trying to summon from the graveyard instead of summoning it from the extra deck, but you're pretty much never going to be doing that. And more than half of the targets for this card are really bad, so we're only going to be looking at the good ones. Alright, so Fusion Reinforcement can reveal NATURIA Exterio and either summon you a NATURIA Beast or Barkion. And now you might be thinking, but Yaksign, you're summoning a monster that is really good when its effect is not negated, but Fusion Reinforcement negates its effects. And you wouldn't be wrong, but we don't really care about that at all. My man, if you can Synchro Summon Muddy Muddragon, you can actually hard fuse for NATURIA Exterio. It's funny how up until now we only really saw NATURIA Exterio as a card that you summon off of Waking the Dragon or Cyberstein, but now you're actually going to be seeing it another kind of way. You're also properly summoning NATURIA Exterio by fusion summoning it, so you can actually revive it back from the graveyard after it dies. And you don't have to play a single Garnet or even Fusion spell card to summon Exterio that way. All you really need is Fusion Reinforcement and any way to get into Muddy Muddragon. But it doesn't end there. NATURIA Exterio is not the only broken card that you can summon with this combo. You can reveal CYBERDARK and Dragon to special summon Cyber and Dragon, and then substitute Muddy Muddragon as CYBERDARK Dragon, and then fusion summon for CYBERDARK and Dragon. So that monster used to be ass cheeks up until now, basically, because it's really hard to summon, but if you can just cheat out one of the 2 names, and then cheat out the other name with Fusion Reinforcement, then this card is a joke to summon. And it's also unironically absolutely broken because it's a 5000 attack monster that is unaffected by the activated effects of your opponent. Activated effects, so in other words, it loses to continuous effects like Baguska and Skill Drain, but that's another story for another day. So yeah, if you play against a deck that struggles against Towers-esque monsters, you go for that combo. And if you play against a deck that loses to not being able to use spells and traps, well, you go for NATURIA Exterio. Oh, and by the way, if you really want to, you can actually summon 2 CYBERDARK and Dragon with a simple 3-card combo of just needing Overload Fusion and then banishing the Muddy Muddragon and the Cyber and Dragon from the grave in order to summon a second one. Absolutely not necessary, but gorgeous. Oh, and by the way, even if you don't have access to Muddy Muddragon because, I don't know, maybe your deck doesn't Synchro Summon and your deck makes rank 4 plays instead, you can still do something cool. So with the Fusion Reinforcement, you would reveal NATURIA Exterio to either summon NATURIA Beast or Barkion, and then you would be making Wind Up Zenmeister in order to flip your Synchro monster face down and then back up on the end phase. So that way, you can nullify the negation aspect of Fusion Reinforcement completely because when you're flipping your monster face down and back face up, it's no longer the same monster that you summoned off of Fusion Reinforcement. And I believe you can also use Farfa in order to do that because when you banish your monster and when it comes back from the banished, it's no longer the same monster. So yeah, everybody gets completely easy to summon broken boss monsters for literally free. Oh, and by the way, if you don't really want to do any of that because it's too complicated for you, don't worry, there are some other things that you can do. You can summon a Synchro monster and then with pretty much any tuner monster, make a Crystal Wing Dragon so that you can play around Nibiru if you're playing a combo deck. So let's just say you have a level 1 tuner like Effect Veiler, you can normal summon it and then use Fusion Reinforcement in order to reveal Wind Witch Crystal Bell and summon the Winter Bell. And then of course 1 + 7 = 8 and then you can start negating Nibiru or other hand traps. If you have a level 2 tuner monster like Assault Synchron, you can use Fusion Reinforcement to summon NATURIA Barkion and then special summon the Assault Synchron and that way synchro summon for Crystal Wing. And then finally, if you have a level 3 tuner monster like, I don't know, Ash or Emergency Teleport into Ogre or something, you can use Fusion Reinforcement into NATURIA Beast and then that way synchro summon into Crystal Wing. The possibilities are truly endless, and I genuinely believe that this card is insane in the right hands. Again, the only annoying flaws are the fact that it's once per turn, you have to dedicate a few slots in your extra deck to playing this card, and it does negate the effect of the monster that you summon, as well as prevent it from attacking. But apart from that, I can't really say anything. This card is insane. Anyways, that's pretty much all I had to say and showcase for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts about this card in the comment section below. Do you think it's gonna get banned one day? I do believe that it will see a lot of play, that's for sure. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.